The search continues in Hawaii for the seventh and final victim of a tour helicopter crash. The remains of 6 other people were recovered on the island of Kauai yesterday before poor weather conditions suspended the search. The helicopter crashed on top of a mountain on Thursday. It was on a sightseeing flight over a remote wilderness area. The aircraft was carrying a pilot and 6 passengers from 2 families. CNN's Josh Campbell has more from Kauai.
The location is now known. The search for where that missing aircraft went down has been concluded. Authorities finding wreckage in a remote area behind us here on the island of Kauai inside a state park. Now, this all began on Thursday afternoon when this tourism helicopter failed to return to base at the appropriate time. An alert went out to the U.S. Coast Guard, which launched a massive search and rescue investigation involving Coast Guard, U.S. Navy, as well as Kauai, the state of Hawaii fire and rescue officials trying to determine the actual location. Again, an effort by sea, air, and land. Authorities working throughout the night for some 16 hours, eventually learning that it was this location right behind us, the side of the mountain, that this aircraft went down. Now, we're learning those new sad details. As you mentioned, a pilot, 2 families on board, including 2 children. Authorities have identified the remains of 6 of those individuals. The search for the 7th continues. As far as the reason for this crash, that remains under investigation at this hour. Authorities from the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board, as well as the Federal Aviation Administration, are currently on their way here to this island of Hawaii to launch that investigation. We're told at this hour by officials that it looks as though weather may have been a cause, inclement weather and wind at the time of the crash. Jennifer.
And Josh, is that still a factor now as they continue their search for that 7th victim?
It is. There's certainly a heavy fog that continues behind us at this state park. That is actually the reason why search efforts were suspended overnight for the 7th individual. It was just too difficult for these air assets and ground assets to get into place to try to scour this location. We're told that once this fog lifts, they will resume their search. Again, a number of agencies trying to locate that 7th person, the 7th victim. Officials say they continue to hold out hope, although, as mentioned before, 6 remains now found. It would require quite a miracle to find that 7th person alive. Nevertheless, we're hearing from officials saying that they will continue their search in earnest until that person is located.
Final question, Josh. Any word yet on the nationality of the victims?
No information as of yet. Authorities are attempting to do what they call next of kin notifications, trying to identify not only the people but also their loved ones so that they can make those notifications. No information as of yet. We do expect additional information from authorities this afternoon, an update on the search as well as the victims, where we're expected to learn more about where they were from, whether they were from the island here of Hawaii, whether they were tourists from elsewhere. That information forthcoming from officials. But at this hour, that being kept close to the vest as they attempt to notify their family members of this tragedy that transpired here in Hawaii.